Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Well, it is 3:27 a.m. and we are having a fountain pop from the driveway. Having a Diet Coke out here, which I've been waiting for a long time. I just woke up about a half an hour ago, and I kept on like waking up, and I kept on telling Alex, I'm just gonna sleep for 5 more minutes, Of course, I had the most incredibly vivid dreams again, which I was like just like thinking about it when I was sitting here getting the car warmed up and whatever, and I was like, oh my god, they were so vivid, and I like remembered everything about them, and now I'm like, they're fading, and I'm not remembering what my dream was about. I was gonna actually share it with you guys and tell you what my dream was about. It was kind of more of a nightmare, because I got kind of freaked out like walking downstairs. What was it? But it wasn't like a conventional nightmare. It wasn't like, you know, anything super scary. It was just kind of like a weird nightmare. Anyway, I'm just having super vivid dreams like every single night. There was like a night or two where it kind of had gone away, and now they're back. I feel like it was kind of like settling down there for a little bit. There was maybe even more than that, a couple nights where my dreams weren't so vivid. And it was weird too, like when I walked downstairs tonight, it was like, it almost kind of felt like I was still like in the dream. Like everything was still like super vivid. Like all the lights and everything that I saw were like, when I walked outside, it was like, the moon kind of seemed a little bright. Everything just kind of seemed like, you know, it was vivid as well. Like almost like I hadn't like come out of the dream yet. It was weird. I don't know how to explain it. I don't even remember what it was now, which is so frustrating. Well, maybe they'll come back to me. Of course, my wrist is killing me from balling at my hand, but I still haven't bought a, what do you call it? Like a thing. I just need to go up the street and go get one is what I need to do. Anyway, other than that, I'm having a great day. I've had an amazing day. It's just so peaceful and calm all day today, and Alex didn't go into work until he like worked later today. He went into work at 10, and so we got to kind of like sleep in together this morning a little bit, and then I slept in a little bit longer than that, and I got up and I made my coffee. I was like real tempted to go up the street today and get Starbucks, but I was kind of like, well, why start that, you know, already? So I just made some coffee, and I put my vlog up. I had all kinds of problems with this vlog last night, getting it uploaded. I don't know what it was. I usually, like when I take the memory card out to like upload it to my computer, it takes like 6 minutes to upload it to my computer. Last night, it took over 20 minutes. I literally have no idea why it took so long. So I did that last night while I was listening to a little bit of my audiobook, trying to get through this audiobook that I'm listening to. It's not horrible, but it's not the best book in the entire world. It's not what I want to be reading right now. That's what I think. Like I told Tanya, I said, I've been so blessed this year to like find one book after another that I can't put down, that now that I'm reading a book, like this is the second book in a row that's just kind of you know, and I want to have a page turner is what I want. You know, I want every book that I read to be something that I can't put down, that is so good. And she was like, yeah, I feel the same way. And then tonight, later when we were talking about it, she'd like finished one book and she's going to start another one. And she was like, oh, this book that I just started is so good. And I'm like, you just started it tonight. She's like, I know, but it's so good. I'm like, what is it? And she's like, oh, I never can remember names of books. She's like, it was free on Kindle. She always reads all these free Kindle books. But yeah, the book that I'm reading is called The In-Between. It's not horrible. It's just... it's real depressing. It's about teleportation, and it's like the mode of travel now in the world, and the world has like all of these horrible storms that I'm not really sure the relevance of these storms. It doesn't really play into the book, of which I'm almost halfway through with. There's always like these horrible storms where everybody has to like come home and lock down their house and have these like, you know, basically kind of like The Purge, but it's with storms and like these hailstorms and stuff, and like you shouldn't be traveling in it, and there's like all this protocol around that if somebody is like seeking shelter during a storm, you have to let them have it and all this kind of stuff, right? But I don't know what purpose the storms play in the story, except for just to show that we're not in the year 2020 anymore. And anyway, they're going from New York to Tokyo, and their son gets lost in this teleportation. But basically, lost means that he's dead. And so it's like they're grieving the loss of him, but the dad doesn't believe that he's completely gone. Like, he thinks he can still find him, that he's like lost where, like, somewhere out there, you know. And so right now it's kind of like in the middle of this whole thing between like the mother and the father, and like how the grief is affecting them individually. So it's very real and just kind of sad. And I was thinking it would be more of an adventure book, which I'm thinking it's going to be like kind of down the road. I don't know. It's just not what I wanted to read right now. And on the heels of like reading that other book that I was reading, that Origins book, which, you know, at any other time I probably would have loved that book. I mean, it was about this underground government bunker where they were keeping this like demon like thing that they had found in Panama. I probably would have loved that. But it was written just poorly written, and it just, I don't know. It just was a quick novel. It kept me entertained. It was okay. But I just would love if I had a book right now that I just, like, you know, was excited to read and listen to. Like, I'm just not, that's not what I'm reading right now. So we got up and did that. And then I was just kind of slowly moving all day today. It's driving me crazy that I can't remember what my dream was when I literally remembered it just minutes before I started. I filmed a drama video today and started uploading it. And then I filmed a review video with the dogs. I unboxed the Dapper Dog box. And then I did a Peterisms video, which by the time that I went to go upload it, well, I was kind of like hurrying at that point because like Alex was coming home early. He was like, he called me and he was like, oh, I got done early, so I'm gonna come home. And I said, okay. So I was trying to get this stuff done, and I was sitting there and I like was trying to do like 2 videos at once. I don't know, but anyway, I was gonna do this book tag. I was actually gonna do it from the driveway because Bunny tagged me in a book tag, and I was gonna just sit out here and do it. It's a Schitt's Creek book tag. And so I was like, when Alex gets home, I can just sit out here and I can just do it, and it'll be real casual, you know? And the other stuff will be uploading. Well, I left my disc in my camera, and I like walked into the kitchen when Alex got there, and I was getting ready to walk outside, and I like went through my camera, and I just like, I always like delete all the images on there, which is like the videos and the images, and so that my memory cards are always clean, because like I just, you know, it's stupid. I don't know why I do it, but anyway, it's just something I do, and I've gotten kind of like used to at this point. Well, I deleted this Peterisms video. I read 2 readings from Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and they were good readings too. I mean, it was like a whatever video, but it was like, they were good readings, and so anyway, at that point, I was just kind of like, okay, we're done filming for the day, like, it's over. And I was like, I'm not gonna do the booktube video, I'm just gonna like get the rest of the videos up, and it just is what it is. And so yeah, so that was my day. And then Alex and I hung out for a little bit. I have to tell you guys, so this morning, when Alex went to work, and I went back, like I woke up to say goodbye to him and stuff like that, like I do every morning. And then when I was going back to bed, I always let the dogs out, right? So I let the dogs out, and who let the dogs out? Who? So, okay, I let the dogs out, and then when I was out there, I'm like feeding this squirrel now, okay? Sammy the squirrel, we've named him, okay? We're having like mafioso names in the neighborhood of animals over here, okay? So, I need a mafioso name for the bunny. Benny the bunny? Is that a mafioso name? I don't know. Somebody put it in the comment section below. Anyway, so I went out there, and it was so funny because Tucker was like following me the whole time. And I go, come on, Tucker, we're gonna feed Sammy the squirrel. And I was picking through to make sure that I had just like the right, like, you know, peanuts and stuff. Okay, first of all, he likes peanuts, I'll tell you that. So I had like 3 like peanuts, but they were like split in half out there, like they were smaller. And then I just went and I took a big glob of peanut butter, okay, with a knife, and I just like swiped it down the side of the picnic table. So I'm sitting there like this, like I let the dogs out and whatever, and I was sitting there for a second. I was like sitting in the chair, and like a few minutes later, the squirrel, Sammy the squirrel, jumps down on the picnic table. I put it in my other video here, or my Peter Monn video. I actually took the pictures with my iPad, but let me show you. So you can see, here is Sammy the squirrel. Do you see him? And he's eating on the table. I've got a real good picture of him. Hold on a second. I gotta... And what's so cute is that some of these pictures are like live, you know, where it's like they go into action, like, you know. And so you can see like his little foot, and his little head. This is a good one. Can you believe that though? How much he loves it. He's so excited. So anyway, that's Sammy the squirrel. And yeah. And I'm very, very excited about the fact that he likes peanut butter. So he came down there and he started eating the peanut butter. And then when I went and looked to see what he took peanut butter, and then he took the peanuts off the table. I mean, he might have taken some seeds, but I don't know. I didn't notice. I guess I don't understand what this means. Oh, you know that Gianluca Vacci, this is who everybody always like sends me messages, and they always say, you look just like this guy. He was like riding a, look at this huge boat that he has. He's like this billionaire, okay? He's this huge billionaire, and I don't look anything like him, but people always say that I do. Well, here he is all tatted up, but There he is. People are always like, oh my God, you look just like this guy in the face. But he did this video recently where he was like riding this suitcase through the airport, and everybody's like, oh my God, this is gonna be Peter after he gets out of, and can go do stuff. But Gianluca Vacci he just posted a picture, let's see, 16 hours ago, and it looks like he proposed to his long-term girlfriend, who is, like they're in an age gap relationship. I don't know what her age difference is. Gianluca Vacci. Oh, it says to become a father. Is that what it is? To become a father with Sharon Fonseca. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's not. His girlfriend, he's 52, his girlfriend's 25. Italian Playboy millionaire Gianluca Vacci, 52, reveals he and model girlfriend Sharon Fonseca, 25, are expecting a baby boy. That's the picture. But it was like in Italian, I didn't understand it. The pair shared the news on Instagram on Monday in a loving post. Gianluca, famous for his dancing videos, was first linked to Sharon in April 2017. He was previously in a relationship with supermodel Georgia Gabrielle, but they split in 2017. The entrepreneur has a daughter called, I don't know, she was born in 2002. He owns a manufacturing company. His net worth is said to be around 350 million euro. How would you have gotten from that post, though, that he was having a baby? Oh, I mean, I'm kind of an idiot. I thought okay. Thank you so much for the love you gave us. We are very grateful to life for this beautiful gift. But he's just like kneeling down, holding her hands. It looks more like a proposal. But, I mean, am I an idiot? Am I the only one that thinks that? See? I'm not the only one that thinks that way. At least one of you out there is like an idiot like me, right? Come on, just say it's true. Has anyone ever stayed at one of these Sonder stays? They keep on coming up. They keep on coming up for me. They're called Sonder stays. They're like really, you can get like unbelievable places, and they're not like too expensive. Like you can get them for like a whole month and stuff. I'm thinking maybe next year, what Alex and I will do if we can is maybe like January, February, March, or February, March, and April, just for 3 months, just get a place in Miami. Like rent a place, which they have condos here. Like there's this one townhouse, it's gorgeous, in Miami, and it's $13.75 a month, which, okay, that sounds like a lot, right? But when you think about like trips that we take and stuff, like that's pretty reasonable. And this is like an open air loft, like we could have the dogs down there and stuff with us. So I don't know, maybe that's something that we'll do next year. That was about my exciting day. Other than that, my day was rather not exciting. I don't even know what else to say. I listened to a lot of my audiobook today. I got about halfway through with it. That was one of the things I did today. I didn't watch any TV. I need to start Wentworth. Like, I keep on thinking about, like, okay, start Wentworth, and then I don't start it, you know? So I'm gonna do that. Maybe not tonight, though. And I don't know what else. I do miss kind of like driving around a little bit. it just gives me more to like talk about, more to think about, you know what I mean? I don't know why it's easier to do that when I'm driving around, but it is. It's easier to kind of just like let my mind flow a little bit. It's harder when I'm just like sitting here. I find myself, though, I will say this, since I'm like at home, I find myself like just nesting more. I'm just like literally like looking through Instagram and all this stupid stuff. I find myself like almost kind of nesting more, like with the squirrel table and like, you know, wanting to find out about like the animals in the backyard and all that kind of stuff, which I really like, other than the squirrel table, because I showed it to Alex today. Other than that, I haven't gotten real excited yet about it because, or I haven't told him a whole lot about it, because if I do, he'll be like, I don't want all those animals back there, is what he'll say. And, but like, you know, I've been like making the bed, and like I spray like the room and the linens with those linen sprays, which smells so good. And then like cleaning, you know, just like we keep a pretty straight house anyway, but like it's just very cozy for me like every evening to have like the bed turned down and like one light on in the bedroom, like almost kind of like it's like, I don't know, when you come back to a hotel or something, but it just is very like, it reminds me of like growing up, you know, and just having like this really nice like turned down made bed to like get inside, you know. And Alex is kind of like, it's interesting, like when we first got together, he hated getting into a made bed. Like he was like, I don't think there's any point in making a bed, I'm just gonna get right back into it anyway, and then it's already comfortable the way that I want it to be. But only really with, I would say, this new bedding that I bought, has he become different. Like he will make the bed himself, like if, you know, like if he gets up after me, or if he's like up in the bedroom, like, and it's real simple because like, you know, we just pull the blanket up and make it look nice, and we have like pillow shams with like the pillows that match, and so it's really easy to do. It was funny, like I was thinking about, well, I think about it a lot actually, but I was talking to Alex about it the other day. So our bedroom looks a lot different than it did when we first got it, when we first moved in here. We had like, my mom had like this beige colored carpet in there, and it had been in there forever. We have wood floors now, and we had this bed that, like, what do you call it, like a dressing, like a bed dress, or what's that called? I can't think. You know what I mean? That like hangs over the side of it. And I can remember when we got Boo and Tucker. Well, first of all, Boo and Tucker would hide under this thing that we had in the bathroom. We used to have this, it was kind of like this like teak wood looking wicker thing in the bathroom, and it like crossed, and then had this table on top. It was actually like this table I got from like World Marketplace or something, World Market, and we would just set the towels on top of there. We have like this white chest in there now that I think I got from like TJ Maxx Home or something like that. But when we first got them, they would like hide underneath there. They were so cute. The other thing, and I don't think I have a picture of it anywhere. I wish I did. Here, I'm gonna show you this if I can find it. Oh shoot. How many pictures seriously do I have on this camera? I know I have a picture of them sitting in the bathroom. Oh, Pee-Pee. I miss him so much. Where's a picture of Boo and Tucker when they were in the bathroom? Look at these plants I bought this one year. I bought them at like just a market. Like Tanya and I went, like it was in the parking lot of this like grocery store. Look at how gorgeous they were. And this place was like open every year, and they were like, those were like $20 each. Do you see those? And they lasted forever. I wish we would like have another place that would open like that. Why can't I find this picture with these little dudes? It's so funny. I know I have it on here because I've like posted it for like dog pictures before. Why can't I find this picture? Well, here's a picture of Boo Radley when he was in the LA Times. People, a little unknown fact, Boo Radley was in the LA Times. They did an article on, I didn't even know he was going to be on it. I can't remember how I found out, but it was this picture that I had taken, and they were talking about like famous animals that have it says the moniker To Kill a Mockingbird, Boo Radley in black and white. And it was a picture I took of Boo Radley. But anyway, Jake Gyllenhaal, or however you pronounce his name, he has a dog named Boo Radley. Why can I not find this picture of these two little guys? They're so cute. Well, anyway, Boo Radley used to hang out underneath the bed, and like we would know he was underneath there, but we would act like we didn't, and we'd be like, what happened to Boo Radley? Where'd Boo Radley go? And then we would like act like we were gonna walk out of the room. We're gonna be like, okay, let's go. We would like walk out of the room, and Boo Radley, if this was like the curtain, he'd go. He wouldn't stick his head out all the way. He'd just stick his nose out. And then we'd be like, where's Boo Radley? His nose would be like this. And we'd be like, is that Boo Radley? And then he'd be like, he would let a little bit more of his face out. It was so cute, but he loved to hide underneath the bed. I don't know why. It was the funniest thing. God, I was so much thinner in some of these pictures. Where is this picture? Speaking of Boo Radley, there's a picture of him just running. Little guy. Well, here's a picture from when this was the first day that we got them. You guys want to see? This is the first day that we got Boo and Tucker. Come on, focus. Aww. Boo's in the back and Tucker's in the front. And then I should have a picture where they're like sleeping right next to each other, but apparently I don't. Oh my god, I forgot all about that when Pee-Pee was in their house. We couldn't find Pee-Pee this one day, and he was like down in their house. I was like, what are you doing down in there, Peeps? Why are you hanging out down there? There's all three of them on the bed. Aww. Pee-Pee was my best friend in the whole world. Where is this? Anyway. You know what? I bet it's probably on my Facebook, but I don't know. Have you guys heard that, like, did I talk about this last night, that Las Vegas is going to be, like, forever until they open? I don't know. I was, like, looking at stuff, and it's, like, going to be, like, 2021 for some of these, like, hotels and stuff. It just seems so weird to me. Because Melissa texted us, and she's like, don't even look at the weather in Las Vegas, because we'll be leaving tomorrow to go to Las Vegas. Like, I'm sad about the fact that we're not going to take a trip, but at the same time, there's, like, not anything even, like, open or going on there right now. So it's not like, I mean, even if we were there, it's like, big woo. It's not like we could do. It stopped. But even if we were there, it's not like we could do anything, you know? And the weather is going to be really nice here this week. So, let's look at the weather here. My favorite thing to do is look at the weather here. Hold on a second. Alright. I think we only have one more day of kind of like, not chilliness, but you know. Let's see. Oh my God, all of a sudden now Thursday it's going to be 80. So today it's supposed to be, on Wednesday it's supposed to be 60. Then Thursday 80. God, I can't believe it, can you? And then Friday 73, 77, 74, 66. See, that's where, this is what it does. It promises you something and then it takes a dip. Next Monday, 66 and 73, 78, 82, 85, 81, 78, 76, 74, 77. I can handle this. This is weather I can get behind. This is nice. So anyway, yeah, I was talking about like nesting, but like I've just been like making everything real nice and like, you know, the candle waxes and like the smells and like just having like it low lit throughout the house. It's just like been really nice lately. I've been like really into nesting and in a way that I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm not going anywhere. I'm kind of like stuck in this thing now where it's like, now that we're starting to be able to go places, I realize I don't really have anywhere to go. And the thing is, I don't really have anything I need to buy. Sure, there are things I would like to buy. There's a couple things. Like, I want to buy some new Birkenstock sandals, these plastic sandals, because these are so worn out. Do you see these? So I'm going to get like 2 new pairs of these for the summer. But I can order those online. I don't need to go to, you know, Nordstrom to get those. It's almost kind of like, I think, cheaper sometimes to get stuff online. But anyway, kind of where I'm at with it right now is that I don't feel like I need to crowd the stores anymore if there are things that I don't definitely have to go buy, you know? So like today when I was sitting here and I was like thinking about myself when Alex was like, well, babe, just run up the street and get a Starbucks. I thought, you know what? You would really enjoy that, to just get out of the house for a little bit and drive around and go get, you know, a Starbucks. So I was gonna do it, but I just was like, I don't know, I just didn't, you know. Maybe I will tomorrow. I think to some weird way, like, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but like, I kind of, like, I liked it that Alex and I were here together every day. We would get up and, you know, he would make breakfast and we would make coffee together. I enjoyed that, you know? And so I'm still not used to the fact that we've kind of, like, gone back to normal, like, of how things with, like, his work schedule and stuff are, you know? I'm just not used to it. And, you know, it is weird, though, like getting him like ready for work with like masks and stuff like that, because so I ordered these masks. These are these cotton ones, but anyway. And then I ordered the disposable kind that are like the medical ones. And so he always has all of that stuff with him. But it is just kind of weird, you know? Did you guys hear that California, like they said today, is going to possibly, almost certainly, be extended stay at home and through the summer? Did you guys hear that? I don't know what to think about that. wanted to see if pools are going to open. A summer without swimming, area pools, way options amid COVID-19. This isn't. Oh, this is Wells County, Indiana. I know how they'll do it with our pool. They'll just like say, here's how it is, social distance, keep 6 feet apart, and if you can't, you'll be kicked out of the pool. And there's a couple of those people that are up there like every single day anyway. I mean, if you're chewing gum, they're like, there's no chewing gum in this. I mean, they're very strict in there. But it's never crowded, you know. I don't really care about, I mean, don't get me wrong, I would love to be able to lay out by the pool up there, but that's not what I really care about. It's about just being able to be outside, you know, and all that kind of stuff. Tanya and I talked about getting together maybe like, and seeing each other this weekend sometime. So I'm really excited about that. But, you know, I'm not in a rush either. The county that Tanya lives in, she lives in Hamilton County, and her county is, you know, like they're already, like everything's like reopening and whatever. Alex works in Hamilton County, which is why they can go do that. And, but yeah. All right, let's go ahead and read some comments. Maybe that will open up my story brain a little bit. I do need to order some more aloe vera. There's like some things I do need to like get on. I haven't been on Amazon. I've been trying to stay off Amazon from ordering stuff. There are a couple things I need to order. I need to order some more aloe vera. I probably need to order some light bulbs because we're like 3 out here, and I think we have a full thing inside, which is like 4 or 8 or 6. I can't remember. I think I have 2 of those. So I need to order some light bulbs. When all of this started, like for me, it wasn't just getting prepared. Like, we have a lot of light bulbs for the inside, too. But, like, I made sure that, you know, it wasn't just, like, toilet paper and paper towels, which we have enough of. I wouldn't say we have a surplus, but we have enough, you know. But it was also, like, laundry detergent. I made sure that we had dishwasher detergent, cleaning materials, obviously, bathroom supplies. And it's kind of nice right now. We didn't hoard by any means, but we're in no hurry to go get more stuff, you know? So that was kind of nice. At the time, it seemed so expensive to spend, like, I'm sure this is nothing to a lot of people, but, you know, I don't do regular grocery shopping. So when Alex and I went to Costco, you know, I had gone to, like, I think that the time that we went to Costco together, like that, earlier that day, I had gone to Meijer and I had bought like creamer and stuff. I had spent like $50 at Meijer or something. And then we went to Costco and I spent like $330. And that was like on food and snacks, but it was also like on, you know, and we'd already bought like toilet paper and paper towels, but that was on like, you know, and I will say I bought a lot of soup. At other places and stuff like that, wherever I could find it. But Costco, we spent like $330 and we got all that stuff, like, you know, mouthwash and toothpaste, and I already have a bunch of razors because I get those Harry's razors. I don't order them. I just like, I buy like 2 boxes at a time, so I have like 6 razors. I do need to get some new Art of Shaving lotion though. I need to make a list of some things I need to order, and I need to just go and do it and just stop being cheap about it and just go in, because there's some things I want. Things to buy. What did I say? Oh, Art of Shaving. So that's like my favorite shaving lotion, and right now I'm using Gillette, and I will tell you there's a huge difference. I can't see it on my face when I'm shaving, and so then my line gets bad. So I'm gonna go in and get some of that. Plus, it's like $30 for a container, and it lasts forever. And then we need to get some Poopery. My new favorite is the citrus. You can get it at Ulta, but when do we know when that's opening up again? Poopery Pink Citrus is the best. Birkenstocks. I think that might be all I need right now, actually. Of like stuff that I can order that I don't necessarily get on Amazon. But like we got a bunch of light bulbs before. I don't know if we have these. I think these are 60 watt. They're the kind that look like they have flames on the end of them. Do you know what I'm talking about? I need to buy a power washer. Now there's things I want to buy, and there's things I think things I want, which has 22 things on here right now. But some of these things I've like bought already. And also, like, a lot of these other things are things that, like, I don't need right now. Like a North Face jacket. I don't need that until the fall. Like, these 2 different kinds of coats. Like, I don't need those till the fall or winter. Anyway. But these are more, like, high-end kind of things that I want. Okay, get off there. I need to get off there. Let's go into, we're going to go into the comments and see what people had to say. Hey, hey, hey. I just remembered my dream. Okay, I just remembered my dream. It was kind of personal, so I'm not going to share it. I mean, it wasn't, like, personal, like, anything horrible, but it was, like the people in it. It was personal. My mom was in it. I'm, like, remembering this at the end now. My mom was in it. I'm, like, having these dream nightmares where I'm, like, stuck places, and I can't get, like, home. And I'm just remembering now that in this nightmare, and I think Pee-Pee was in it too, and we were like walking along this snowy mountain, and we were trying to get home, and my mom was like, this is the way to get home, this is the way to get home, and we kept on falling in like ice that was like cracked, and it was like, you know, like it was like a little bit of like a creek bed. Like, we used to walk on the creek when I was a kid, like, in our moon boots, and we would, like, fall through, you know? But it was, like, cold, and we were, like, shivering, and we were, like, freezing, like, walking through this creek. And I was like, Mom, this is, like, the way that we're supposed to go. And she was like, yeah, you just have to trust me. It's so weird. Anyway. It all just kind of came back to me. But what's weird about it was that the people that were in at the beginning of my dream, like, they've been in other dreams of mine, and they're people that I don't know. Isn't that weird? Do you ever have that when you have people in your dreams and you don't know who they are, but they've been in dreams of yours before, and you're like, what is that about? Okay, I keep trying to go in here, and then I keep on forgetting. So, YouTube Creator does this thing now where in the past, I think it was anybody that had over like 50 or 100,000 subscribers. Like if it left your comment and it like gave you a notification, it like went in and put them in a special place. But now it's like anybody that has a YouTube video channel. So if any of you like upload videos in your channel, I think it like pulls it up into the special area. And so I see all of your, like, those comments, like, are in a special area. Anyway. Okay. Let's see. Janet said on Instagram, I follow 1010 the squirrel. The guy has a red squirrel and helps baby squirrels get back to the world. Oh my god, I love that. Do you guys follow that one guy that raises... Here he is. Oh, 1010 the squirrel has 135,000 followers. He's a public figure. Oh my lord. He's so sweet. Oh, I'm gonna follow him. Do you guys follow? I don't know who told me to follow this. I think it was my cousin Caroline. It was either my cousin Caroline or it was Melissa. But it is Wolfgang 2242. And his name is Steve. And he rescues Life with Senior Dog Rescues, Bikini the Pig, Betty the Chicken, and Tofu the Turkey. And you guys, he has all these animals, and they all have their own beds. He has like 1, 2, I can't even count how many. They are so cute and so hilarious. Can I just show you some of these dogs? Okay, and they're all senior dogs, and they all have like medical problems. Do you guys see these pictures of these dogs? They're all like hilarious looking. Okay, hold on, come on now. Look at this. They're absolutely hilarious looking. And he has a pig, and he has a chicken, and everything. And they all have like these medical problems, and he's so sweet. And he buys them these incredible beds. Like, look. From living in a cage to living large, Fernando, reminding me what it's all about. And here little Fernando is, and he has his own like bed, you can see. Look at that. I just am absolutely in love. And then, here's the pig. Oh my god, I didn't see this. Oh yes, I did. Now I have to show you who my favorite is. Okay. Oh, that he is my favorite Fernando, but hold on a second. Some of these are so funny, but you have to see. Anyway, you should go check it out. Wolfgang 2242, and he rescues all these animals, and I think it's real sweet. That's what I'm all about here for on the Instagram. A little more and then he's got a video of the turkey. A turkey that just lives in the house. Can you even imagine? I love it. I love everything about that. Anyway, there's so much nonsense on social media. I think that stuff's kind of nice, don't you? Okay. I love when people mention me in their Instagram stories. I think it's so nice. I cannot do those like emoji things to save my life though, or whatever you call them. The GIFs. I have such a hard time. Okay. So that is what. Thank you, Janet, for introducing me to Tintin the squirrel. Okay. Chloe said, I introduced my mom to your channels and she sat through and watched a bunch of videos with me. Happy to say you have another good Judy. Aw, thank you, Chloe. Linda said, I've always tried to focus on what I have, not what I don't have. I love that my son had planted a garden. Plus, soon my pool cover will be off. Be safe, fellow vlog watchers. Oh, thank you, Linda. We'll all be over at your pool here real soon. I'll bring the potato salad. In Indiana, we don't say potato. We say potato. Potato salad. With a bologna sandwich. And macaroni salad. I love macaroni salad. It's one of my favorites. Okay. I love when I read comments from like a while ago. Pamela said, oh my god, yes, the Pink Beauty Shop tape. Now that brings back memories. My grandma, she didn't go to prison. But she sure died with everybody's secrets for sure. But we'd go to her friend who had her own shop in an added room to her house. I remember those days, and it smelled of perm solution. Oh my god. Oh my god, I would probably, do you remember like trying to do perms on your friends? And oh my god, I probably never thought about it again had you not brought up the tape. You constantly resurface memories of mine that are so sweet. Love you so much. It was so funny because I was talking to Sarah tonight, Alex's friend, about, and I talk about this all the time. Where is it? Okay, I've got all these group texts. So she was asking me about the squirrel table, and I sent her a picture of the table, and she said, oh my god, yes. And then she said, she's showing me her table, which she's got on like her like fence. And she's like, this little effer is not even near the table. And she's like a squirrel in her yard and it's not going anywhere near the table, you can see. And I said peanut butter. And she said, oh my god, do you remember when as a kid for class, this is why Sarah and I are so alike. Oh my god, do you remember, she goes, oh my god, do you remember when as a kid for class we used to smear peanut butter on a pine cone and sprinkle birdseed all over it? Next project, I need cheap peanut butter though. They ain't getting my almond butter. And then she said, Alex thinks I'm putting too luxury of nuts on the table. I say hard false, because she and I are both putting like these nuts on the table that are expensive, right, for the birds. But anyway, I said, oh my god, no one remembers when I tell them about that damn pine cones. I talk about it all the time. I do. I talk about that pine cone all the time. I remember doing that activity and I want to do it again, right? I think somebody told me though it's not like safe now or something. I don't know. I hate when we do something, it's like, we have this memory and then like you tell it later. And like this is, I will say this, is like one of the things that's hard about the vlog. It's nobody's fault, but like if I say something and I'll be like, oh yeah, do you remember those, like, I'm totally making this up. This is totally made up, okay? But do you remember those, like, big, like, wax lips that you get at Halloween time? Oh my god, I love those so much, right? And then somebody's like, yeah, those cause cancer. I'm like, oh my god, what? Don't ruin it for me, you know? But anyway, where are we at on time? Okay. And then she said, great activity. And then Alex texted back from upstairs where he's playing Township. My husband, true story, okay? True story. He woke up this morning and he was like, ooh, his alarm always wakes me up. And he goes, ooh, and he wakes up and he goes like this. And then this is the next thing he went. And he started playing his game right as he woke up. And so tonight I said to him, I said, you are addicted to that Township game. And he goes, no. But I have certain things I have to do before it times out, because it'll time out. Anyway, I'm going to get some pine cones to do that pine cone thing. I love that. Okay, let's go back into the comments. But thank you, Pamela. Oh, I have to tell you that, Pamela. So somebody sent me a picture. I got an email of the pink hair tape that like would hold down the bangs that my mom used to wear. Jenna said, I love fast forwarding the end of the video and watching the sun come up in your window. Aww. Lisa said, I heard the noise too, the creaking sound on the passenger side. I think that's actually what it was. Sometimes it's just the car settling, I think. Okay, Magic Me said, my friend has been feeding a squirrel at her patio. It started knocking on her patio door. Then one day the squirrel was knocking at her door and she went out to feed it as usual. Is this a joke? Then she realized it's not the same squirrel. Apparently, it had watched the first squirrel order food and decided to get in on that. Are you telling the truth? And Melissa said, give them an inch, they take a mile. Squirrels are so entitled. Oh my God. She also said, Magic Me said, I've never really needed to travel. I mean, I have fun when I get to go, whenever it is. But getting there always seems like an anxiety-triggering pain in the ass. I've never had any problems with moving to other countries, though. I've never moved to another country. Hell, I've never moved to another state. But, well, I mean, I was born in Chicago. Then we moved here when I was really, really little. But, I mean, there is anxiety associated with traveling. But once you get on the trip, it's just, like, so fantastic. I don't know. I go back and forth with this day-to-day thing. Like, you know, yesterday I was like, oh, I don't really care if I travel. And then today I was kind of like, I really kind of would like to go somewhere. I don't know, I think sometimes the more time I spend around the house, the more I feel like this need to, like, go somewhere, you know? But you also have to remember, like, people, I think, often don't understand, like, what this joy is to me of just driving around. But like, I'm not somebody that, like, I like to take baths, but I don't love them. You know what I mean? I was talking to Tanya tonight, and she had taken a bath, and I said, you know, I was like, what did you do? She's like, I took a bath tonight, and whatever. And I was telling her about, like, Caroline and I, and how we had been talking, and, like, we were talking about, like, you know, Caroline was like, you don't necessarily need to put a bath in your house because, like, the resale value, people want showers, they don't want bathtubs and all this kind of stuff. And I said, Caroline, I don't know that we're ever going to sell the house, and I'd like to have a bath. I'd like to be able to do a lush bath bomb every once in a while and stuff like that, right? And she's like, oh, I get that and whatever. And Tanya was like, Tanya takes a bath every single night. Every single night, Tanya takes a bath, like, with a bath bomb and the oils, every single night, right? And, like, to me, I'm like, why wouldn't you just, like, take a shower? Like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But for me, it's, like, relaxing to go and drive around and listen to music and listen to an audiobook and just kind of, like, be out, like, right? Like, the movie, like, Mermaids, if you remember that movie back in the day when Cher says, Charlotte, cars are freedom. Like, I feel that. I feel like being in my car and driving around is a little bit of a freedom. So the fact that I have just been stuck here, you know, for so many days on end, don't need to turn on my turn signal, has been hard because it's like, just, that's my relaxing thing. That's what and even no matter how bizarre it is, which I know to some people it is, it's something that I really, really enjoy doing. So I think on, like, days where I can't walk around outside because it's colder or whatever, I feel more, like, stuck, like, I can't go anywhere, you know? So maybe when I can start driving, it'll be better. Does anyone know what type of bird is singing? I'm hearing the same song around 3 to 5 a.m. 3 to 5 in the a.m. in the morning. It usually hits about 5:15. Yeah, they're not up yet. Rox said, hey, squirrel friend squirrel. Little squirrel emoji. I'm curious, why do you get up so early, 2 to 3 a.m.? Love your videos and I'm watching it every day. Well, Rox, thank you for asking. I get up 2 to 3 a.m. every morning to vlog. Just simply for this, because I love to do this. And it's just because I'm kind of on this crazy schedule. Do you know where I'm kind of at with it? Like, I appreciate the question. I know it seems weird to people. They're like, who is this person that, like, why is he in a car? Why is he vlogging? It was at the end. And like, Rox, I hope you totally understand this. I really appreciate you watching, and I don't mean any disrespect. But like, over the course of like 3.5 years at this point, like, I've got this question so many times. Like, you know, like, why do you get up so late? Why don't you go to bed at normal times? Why do you like drive in a car? And like, why do you do this? And I'm kind of at the point now where, and it's honestly taken me like 3.5 years to get here, where I'm kind of like, I don't know that there's any, I don't know that I have a good excuse for it. I don't know that I have a good explanation for it, other than it's just what I do. And it's what makes me happy. And so I don't know that I can explain it to somebody that doesn't do, you know what I mean? Like, so it's just, I don't know. It just is what I do. It's what I've done for 3+ years. I don't always, like, when, like, before all of this happened, I would vlog sometimes like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, you know, and then I would listen to my audiobook and I would go home and I would go to sleep, or sometimes I would vlog on the way to the casino if I was going to meet Valerie. Sometimes I would vlog throughout the day, you know, like, with the dogs in bed. Sometimes I would vlog like doing a PO unboxing, which I kind of wanted to do today, but I never got to. So there's just all kinds of stuff, you know, and I'll get back to a lot of that once I can kind of go out. But thank you, Rox, for that question. I appreciate it. And thank you for, and welcome aboard. Thank you for watching. Shelly said, love Mrs. Birdie and family chirping in the background, LOL. Did watch this at night though, so I was hella confused at first. Avelia said, I don't get the time he sleeps, LOL. So he gets up at 3 a.m. What time do you go to bed? I do get up every 2 to 3 hours when I bottle feed. Okay, so I go to bed between about 6 and 7, okay? Now, prior to this, I was going to bed between about 4 and 5. Sometimes earlier than that, it just depended. So I go to bed about 6 and 7. And then I get up about 1, and then I do all the stuff around the house that I do, whatever, spend time with Alex, and then towards the end of the evening, he either watches like a couple shows that he wants to watch by himself, and I go lay down, and then when he comes to bed, I, you know, sleep with him for like the first couple hours or whatever, and so I'll sleep from like, let's say like 10:30 or 11 until like 2 or 3 in the morning, and then I get up and I vlog and I listen to my audiobook, and then I kind of start the whole thing over. I know it's completely insanity. I completely insane. I get it, right? Like, I know it makes no sense to anybody whatsoever, but it works for me, and you know, it's just, it is what it is. Okay. Tabitha said, I am so happy to hear the place you've arrived at with travel and everything going on. The last couple of days you've been talking about traveling were honestly a bit unsettling, and I'm so confused and disappointed with some of the thoughts on the matter. But today seems like you're very aware and grounded, and I am happy to hear your thoughts. I'm doing the same thing. Instead of traveling, I'm investing and nesting to finish some home projects. Painting new sheets, working on my home office, etc. has got me excited about nesting this summer. I'm not saying that I'm not going to travel. I'm just going to put that out there right now. If things seem to be safer, and I'm watching what is happening, I'm not hurrying into anything. I mean, I have friends of mine that are literally ready to go to Florida next week, and probably will go to Florida in the next couple weeks. I'm not hurrying to do anything. Like, Alex and I haven't discussed any travel. We have no travel plans right now. All of our travel plans are canceled. So we have no plans, but I'm not saying that I wouldn't in the future or something, you know, depending on how things go. Like, you know, I mean, I don't know, like, we're hearing that, like, Los Angeles is, like, gonna be on the stay-at-home order all through the summer now, and, you know, New York and Florida are slow coming out of it, and Indiana is just coming out of it right now. So I don't know what that's going to look like. None of us do. But I'm not going to sit on video and commit to I'm never traveling again. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, for me, it's, I want to live in educated caution. I don't want to live in fear. I want to live in educated caution, if that makes sense. Like, I want to be educated. I want to do what is recommended. And be cautious about what I do. But I don't want to live in fear and be like, I'm never leaving my house again. I don't want to live that way, So I don't know, and I don't know what that means. And right now, as a person in sobriety that takes it one day at a time, I'm taking it one day at a time. But yeah, like for this summer, like you said, Tabitha, like this summer, I am really focused on just doing stuff around the house and making our house nice. And there's no, I'm in no rush, I guess, anymore. The way I was feeling like I want to get out, I want to go somewhere, I want to do that, right? Like, I'm not feeling that rush anymore. I'm feeling like if we don't go anywhere and we're here the whole summer, I'm completely fine with that. Even if we were just to be here for the rest of the year and couldn't go anywhere, I'm completely fine with that. I love to travel with my husband. If we're unable to travel, traveling is a luxury to me. Traveling is a gift. It's not something that I have to do, Being able to make my patio beautiful and spend some time outside and hang out with, like close friends and family, that is a gift as well. And so if I'm given that, I'm kind of similar to where you're at with it, Tabitha, but I also, like, the reason why I want to say this on here is I don't want somebody coming on here and saying, like, Peter said he was never going to travel, and then, all of a sudden, like, in August, I'm going somewhere. So I don't know, like, what's going to happen down the road. And none of us do right now, you know what I mean? So a lot can happen, a lot could change. We'll just have to wait and see. I definitely think, though, like, I was talking to my friend Caroline, I was talking to my cousin Caroline, and she was, like, talking about one of her friends, and she said, I think with all of this that's going on, she's definitely more conservative. And she didn't mean conservative politically, she meant conservative when it comes to, like, safety measures of, like, going places, abiding by the stay-at-home order, like, not driving and things like that. Like, I get a lot of comments. People are like, well, can't you drive around? Yes, you can probably drive around and whatever, but the stay-at-home order is asking you not to because, like, it's less cars on the road, it frees up, like, if there was a car accident, you had to go to the hospital, things like that, that's what they're worried about. So with the stay-at-home order, it keeps you at home as well. Like, there's a lot of that that's involved as well. Non-essential travel, okay, which for us, it's over at this point, I guess, but I don't really, I know definitely it's over by Friday, but right now it's like, it was supposed to end on Monday, but I don't know because of the stay-at-home order, so I'm confused. So I'm just abiding by it till Friday. But, I was talking to Caroline about it, like ordering stuff online, not going to stores, like social distancing, not seeing people, things like that. And I said, well, where do you think that I fall on that line? And she said, oh, I definitely think you're one of the more conservative people that I know. And I said, do you really? And she goes, oh, you've, like, followed this thing, like, by the T of, like, what you're supposed to do. And, I was thinking about this because I had lots of conversations with my sponsor and Tanya about this, that, 25 years ago, when I was out there actively using, I was not a rule follower, but today I am a rule follower, and there's some peace of mind that comes with being a rule follower, you know what I mean? So, like, when Tabitha brings this up, and she says, like, how did she say it, that, because I don't want to disappoint people either, but she said the last couple of days she's been talking about traveling were honestly a bit unsettling, like, I understand that, like, for me, like, I'm just talking, I'm in a car just talking about, like, wanting to go on a trip somewhere. Like, if I was talking to one of my good Judies, on the phone, I'd be like, God, it'd be really nice to go to Florida. That's kind of what I'm saying, it's not a whole lot deeper than that, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, I really am, like, a rule follower today, and there's peace of mind that comes from that, and I think the thing that I heard early on, suggestively, was, if you do these things, your chances of getting sick and getting others sick is very minimal. For example, wearing a mask when you go out, you know, wearing gloves, which I think they're changing that now, but, you know, like staying at home, not going anywhere, stay at home order, right? Like break down the curve. If you limit the amount of people you see, well, I was only seeing Alex, you know, and like all these kinds of things, ordering your food, you know, like wiping things down with Lysol, keeping things clean, washing your hands 1,000 times a day. All of these things that it was telling us to do, right? Like it was, if you do these things, your chances at remaining healthy and your family and friends remaining healthy is pretty good. I don't know what it was when I heard that. That was like, I guess the thing that miffs me the most, okay? Here. This call me passing judgment. I don't care. You're gonna have a real moment like I would have with any of my other good Judies on the phone. I guess what miffs me the most is we're grown-ass adults, okay? We are being asked to do things that are not super difficult. And yet, I see friends of mine that, and I've said stuff to them. I have said stuff to them, you know? And when I have been asked to go do social things, I will say, I love you, and I appreciate you asking me, but I am not comfortable to go do that because we are being asked to stay at home. And this is very serious to me. And I love you enough that I feel like I need to say this. It concerns me that you're not taking this a little bit more seriously. Oh, blah, 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 whatever. And I'm like, have you read the news? Have you read what they're saying? Like, do you listen? Yes, but I mean, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then it goes to this whole conspiracy thing. And I'm like, okay, well, at least I've said my piece, but I don't have to allow it to affect me. I definitely have been on the more conservative of this. So, Tabitha, I appreciate you bringing it up, and I don't want anybody to feel like, oh, I'm just going to be like, oh, we're going to, you know, like Mexico tomorrow. You know, it's just like a lot of, like, when I'm sitting here in the vlog, I'm just kind of like talking out loud. So it is like, I feel like I'm talking to my good friends because this is a conversation that I would have with them. You know what I mean? But I'm definitely on, like, the weird side of it. Like, I mean, you guys, people have been going to Starbucks this entire time. I won't even go up the street. It's literally, you guys, a mile and a half up the street. I won't even go a mile and a half up the street to go get a Starbucks until I'm completely allowed to. You know what I mean? Like, so, I don't know. It is what it is. But I never thought that I would be a rule follower. I always thought I was like, you know, somebody that, I don't know, challenged authority to some degree. I will also say this, though, like, for the fact that she brought this up, like, for me, like, sometimes this vlog is really helpful in, like, talking out loud and just then, like, hearing myself say it, or, like, running through the whole process of saying it, or then reading this comment, like, the next day and being like, well, you know, like, okay, like, maybe I need to take a look at some of those things that I was saying. Like, am I rushing out to, you know, whatever, like, you know? I mean, I just want to make this very clear. Somebody could say to me tomorrow, I would give you a free $10,000 a night free suite on the beach in Miami tomorrow for the next week, and you could fly first class, and I wouldn't go. Like, that's where I'm at with it right now. If I could bank on that and hold that till later in the year, I would. But no, I'm like, I would turn it down. Like, I'm not comfortable doing that at all. TikTokers make money off of sponsored monetization. They receive around $500 for about every 500,000 views. That boils down to 9 cents per 1,000 views, said Tammy. Okay, if that's true, where do they disclose that it's sponsored? Because if you're doing any kind of sponsorship, you have to disclose. It's FTC, it's a rule. Like, you can be charged huge fines for that. So I've not seen any TikTokers disclose. I mean, I don't see any huge TikTokers disclosing that it's a sponsored video. There's very strict rules about that. Mel said this, and Mel Lawson said this, and this is exactly how I feel like this is what I was kind of saying. I agree with you, but us doing the recommended is nearly about to ruin me and my husband, but we have agreed it will be better to live to struggle over mourning a loss that could have been prevented. And I completely agree with that, you know? Julie said, I have a squirrel friend that lives in my yard. I call her Squirrely Shirley. Well, if I get two, I'm gonna call her. I'm gonna be like, oh, hey, you're visiting from Julie's yard. Sammy the squirrel is the new Mrs. Birdie. Alex, no, Tati. Taylor said your neighbors who are growing vegetables are going to be so mad at you feeding the squirrels. They will start eating all their veggies and yours if you try to grow any. She's not that serious about her tomato plants, but she's got the fencing over them or whatever it's called. Jowatail said, you are so right, Peter. Internet fame is not random. Have you read The Myth of a Digital Democracy? I have not. It's likely outdated now because I read it for my senior seminar in college back in 2013, but it's real interesting and talks about how the internet makes us think we have an even playing field at success, fame, etc., but we don't. Just like you're talking about. Love you, Peter, and love hearing the birds in the early light. Amber said, can you tell us about your engagement, please? Who proposed? How long after your first day? Oh, this is a good question. Haley said, Peter sits in his driveway reading squirrel facts. Shouldn't work on paper, but it does. I know, it was so funny. I was talking to a friend tonight, and she was like, what did you talk about in your vlog last night? And I said I was talking about, like, squirrel comments. And she said, what? And I said, I was, like, online, and I was, like, Googling questions about squirrels and stuff. And she said, do people seriously sit there and listen to you read, like, facts about squirrels? I said, yeah, it was probably one of my best vlogs. I was so happy with it. She goes, what were you happy with? I said, I don't know. It was homey. I liked it. It was nice. She goes, you are so weird. I go, I know I'm weird. I said, but it was kind of fun to read all the facts about the squirrels. Hold on a second. Ghost Blonde just said that she just started watching the vlogs and is newly sober. Congratulations and welcome to the Wolf Pack. Colton said, Peter gets attached to Mr. and Mrs. Rabbit or Mr. and Mrs. Squirrel. Alex gets mad. That is going to be the future of what's going to happen, I can tell you right now. Karen said, Peter, only you could fall down and I love Karen so much. Hey, Karen. She's a big part of the book club. Karen said, Peter, only you could fall down an internet rabbit hole in squirrels. I don't know why, but it made me laugh until I cried. My stomach muscles are going to hurt tomorrow. Thank you for being you. Oh, thank you so much. It was fun. Yesterday was one of my favorite vlogs I've done in a while. I don't know why. Melissa, Stranger Than Vixen, said, I absolutely love you, Peter, and your sweet, adorable nature. You calling the birds Mr. and Mrs. Birdie melts my heart. I may not agree with you on some things, but I respect your opinion. I was rereading my comment from yesterday, and it seemed like I was being kind of, oh, I didn't think that, rudish. And I want you to know that I wasn't meaning it to. It probably isn't rude, but I just want to clarify. Also, did that package come in I sent? I don't want to keep bugging you. Just want to make sure you got it. I freaking love you, Peter. Thank you, Melissa. I'm going to show I haven't unopened all of them. They're all inside. So I'm going to do like an unboxing of all the packages that I got. They've been like when I brought them in, I like wiped them down and put them in the garage. Tink Mosey said, I love looking at animals. We have squirrels and feed them nuts and seeds. We have 4 old growth trees in our backyard and they love them. If you can, try to get some pictures of the bunnies. Also, there is a channel called Safari Live that broadcasts for sunrise and sunset activities. Saw a bunch of lion cubs last night, cuters. That kind of reminds me a little bit of Carol Baskin, just saying. Samantha said, love your channel. Love you. Thank you. Crystal said, I went back to work today. I am a server bartender, and I can 100% agree with your friend. Wearing a mask all day anywhere sucks. It's harder than what people think. I can't imagine. Heather said, Peter, I have been living for your rant playlist over in your drama channel. I have been working overnight this week, overloaded with tedious paperwork, and the rants help me get through those 8 hours without pulling my hair out. I'm sure when people go past my office area throughout the night, they have a lot of questions. Aw, thank you. I appreciate that. I love doing the rants. They're so much fun. Hunter said, Paris and Kim are icons. I agree with you, Peter. Being famous for nothing is the most genius thing one can pull off. Okay, here's the thing. It's like, people really don't like... Oh, the battery's going to stop. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. The thing is, a lot of people just don't like Paris Hilton and Kim Kardashian, right? So whenever you mention them, like, I'm not saying that they're role models of the world or that, you know, they are people that you should look up to and idolize, okay? First of all, they had a lot of money to get them started. Like, if Kim Kardashian, you know, was, I don't know, like, I mean, you know, if her mom was the manager of Taco Bell and her dad worked at a tire barn, do I think that if that sex tape had come out, she would have 15 TV shows and be as famous as she is now? No, we know that, okay? First of all, she had to be Kim Kardashian to then have that happen, okay? Just like a lot of the things with Paris Hilton. I mean, I think people forget that, like, before there was The Simple Life with Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie, Paris and her sister were, like, famous for going out to clubs and, like, causing all kinds of trouble, you know? And I even remember years and years and years ago, I wish I could find this article. It was so fantastic. It was a parody written about the Hilton sisters, Nikki and Paris. And Nikki, you know, is very settled down today. But it was this whole article that was written about the Marriott Sisters. And the Marriott Sisters were, like, new. And I can remember reading this article. It was, like, in GQ or something. And they were, like, brand new sisters that had just come out. And they were, like, gonna take the Hilton sisters, like, give them a run for their money, basically. And they were hotter, and they were, like, you know, Nikki and Paris were, like, blonde, and the Marriott sisters were, like, brunettes, and they just, like, wore, like, outrageous, like, lingerie out to bars and stuff. It was, like, this whole parody written, but you didn't really know it was a parody. You know, I mean, it takes some kind of wealth and privilege, I think, to even, like, be able to do that. But there is a lot to be said about getting famous off of nothing and then making it last. You know, like, do I think it's a talent? No. Do I think it's I think it's luck? Yeah. I think it's keeping people interested in you to some degree. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm not famous. I'm not YouTube famous. You guys really, okay, so Adriana said, hi Peter, yesterday you were so super cute to mention Mrs. Birdie and her husband. Like, I mega truly love how you said it so serious. I know someone already mentioned that in the comments, but I adore so much how you mentioned the husband so respectfully. It was so freaking cute. I hope Mrs. and Mr. Birdie are doing great, and the sound of the birds chirping over there was so beautiful. And ASMR as I was cutting up my watermelon. It's kind of funny that they haven't started yet. It's 4:51. We should look and see, like, because they literally, now I'm gonna have to stay on here until then, right? But they literally wake up. I don't hear anything. They literally wake up at the same time. Like, they all start going crazy, like, all over the neighborhood. Hunter said, I agree with other comments, Peter. You're a born storyteller and the world is thankful for your story. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I like telling stories. I have fun telling stories. Okay, so where was the comment about... Hold on a second. How did I get so far away from this? There's Julie's comment. Amy said Peter's 19th channel animal watching. Hashtag would subscribe. Lynette said, I think as you get older, you understand the fact of stopping and enjoying the world. I don't feel the need to rush either. I'm teaching my kids to enjoy the space they're in now. I think that's so true. I really do. Like, I love that idea of just, of stopping, you know? Of hitting the pause button. You know, I talk about a lot about that on, like, my Peterson's channel, of, like, hitting the pause button and thinking about, like when you're going through something and like somebody's really upset you, or you're angry, or, you know, mad or whatever, full of rage. It's like you can just hit that pause button, right? You don't have to respond, you don't have to react. You can just think about it for a day or two, you know? That's something I haven't been great at in my life that I've really worked on a lot in the last 2 years. But I think it's more than just pausing. I think it's stopping. Like you said, Lynette, I've noticed a lot more about the world recently because the world has seemed to be stopped for me, and I have seemed to like slow down a lot. And I do notice things like when I'm sitting on the back patio, just like, or out even on the front patio, I notice all the birds, like, you know, like them hopping around here and stuff, you know, and the little bunny and whatever. And it's not even that I notice like the animals. It's like, you know, one night I came out here and the bunny that we have, I don't know if it's the same bunny, if we have one in the backyard, one in the front, if it's a family of bunnies, I don't know. But it was like in our, yard, because we have like little, you know, this was before like Alex cleaned it out and stuff. And we had little like grasses and stuff in there growing. So he was like in there, and he's like this big. I mean, he's a little bit bigger than a baby bunny. And he was in there and he was like eating the grasses and stuff like that. And, I bet the birds don't start chirping until the sun comes up. That would probably make sense, wouldn't it? The sun's not anywhere near coming up yet. But when I would come outside, he wouldn't like hop away real quick. Like he would just like lay down there and I could like watch him. And you could see his eyes, and his eyes were like really nervous, like what's gonna happen. But then like I would talk to him like soothingly, you know, and I would say, it's okay, buddy, you know, and he would kind of like relax, and you could see it in his like body, like he would just kind of relax, right? And then he would turn and he would hop away, but it was like slower. It's like I don't even just like notice a bunny or a bird or a squirrel. It's like I noticed the squirrel today, like he was trying to get his bearings on the table and his foot kept on slipping down. And it was, I actually have it like on the picture because it's like a live picture, you know, those pictures that are like that. Do you know what I mean? I hate those live pictures, they freak me out. But I kind of like them sometimes too. Cause like all these pictures I have of Pee-Pee that are live, it's like he's like, it's so cute. But like his little leg kept on flipping out as soon as I would take this picture. And, it's like noticing even just like the smallest details of things, you know? Like I really think Mrs. Birdie like knows who we are. I really do. Even if it's not the same bird family as it was last year, I really think she knows who we are, because like when I stand outside, like she swoops like real close to me sometimes. And, like almost kind of like alert, like stay away, kind of like, and we know where her nest is. Her nest is like on the other side. Like if their roof is like this, and this is like, you know, over here for me, it's like right on the other side, like in this little area down there, that's between our house and their house, because we can see her like go in there. But you can't see the nest, it's too high up. But like she and her husband, they like walk right along here on the top of the, can you see? Like there's their, you can see what I can see here. right up there is the top of their house. So they walk like right up along there. Isn't that so sweet? So yeah. I wonder when the birds are going to start chirping. Now I'm waiting for them. Okay, who asked me about my engagement? Let's see. I'm going to give credit where credit's due. By the way, I'm going to call this vlog. I'm typing it into my notes right now. I'm stopping. And I dedicate this vlog to Lynette. Because Lynette was the one that talked about that. And I think that's a good lesson for all of us to stop, you know. This is going to sound so corny, but one of the things I started doing like a couple of years ago, come on, get in focus. One of the things I started doing years ago was that when I'm at stores that have flowers, I always stop and I smell some of the flowers. Like, I hate when this camera gets out of focus. I don't want to have to stop it. It's like way over here, like the square thing. I don't know why it is doing this. There. Okay. Well, I think I just figured out how to fix it in the future. You just drag it up by your finger. But anyway, when I'm at stores, I always stop and I smell like the flowers, like even roses, which I don't love the smell of roses because I think they're funeral flowers and stuff like that. And I've said that before, but like I love like stargazer lilies and bougainvillea, anything that smells kind of like the Caribbean or Florida. Like I love that. But I do love the smell of rose. It's very fresh, it's very clean, and I do like smelling them in stores. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't order them necessarily for somebody unless it was like a very classy gesture I was trying to make, you know? Like maybe a congratulatory thing or something like that. When my grandma passed away, there were tons and tons of roses there. And so for the longest time, whenever I would smell roses, I just associated with them with my grandma's passing. When I was like 12 or 13. And I hated that. What time is the sunrise today, I wonder? .6:30 a.m. Well, I won't be waiting here till then. I'll tell you that much. 6:31 a.m. Was I really vlogging that late last night? I couldn't have started that late last night. Did I start at like 4:57? I thought it was like 3:50. I thought it was like 3:50 or did I start at 5 instead of 4 last night? That seems crazy to me that I started that late. Yeah, well they probably won't be coming out anytime in the near future then. No, I totally forgot what I was saying. Oh, about the roses. Yeah, but when my grandma died, I remember my mom took all these dried roses and she put them in this. I remember the funeral home smelled a lot like roses. And then my mom put these dried roses with all these other dried plants in this, like, it was off the kitchen, but it was like this pantry still. It was like where my mom kept her liquor, which is funny. Like, she kept bottles of vodka and stuff in there. And it had all these, like, dried plant arrangements in there. I don't know why she kept them for so long. It's so weird when I look back on it. She kept, like, 4 or 5 of them in there. And one of them was, like, these dried roses. And I can remember every time I would open that door, I would just smell these dried roses, and it reminded me of my grandma's funeral, and I hated it. It just reminded me of the funeral. Like, I don't know if I hated it, but it just made me sad. It just reminded me of it. To this day, I still feel the same way, you know? But every time I'm at the store, I always stop, and I smell the flowers, whatever they are. She has tulips over here. Oh, well, they're gone now, aren't they? Oh, she's got one left. Oh, there's some opening? It looks like there's some opening. She got something opening. Or maybe she cut them for Mother's Day or something over here. I don't know, because these are over here. But I smell them, and what's so funny is sometimes I go down and I smell them. And, you know, because I got stung by a bee when we were in the Dominican Republic, do you guys remember that? I got stung so bad. I think to myself that there's going to be a bee inside one of the flowers, and it's going to go up my nose when I smell it. But I always stop and smell the tulips over there. Excuse me, which do have a good smell to them. Okay, so somebody asked about my engagement. I'm going to make sure that who was that? Peter, what season are you on with Wentworth? Sharon said. I'm on the last season. Hassie said, thanks for sharing and thanks to everyone for being wonderful. Hey! Christina said, have you made your appointment for a haircut? Hair salons are open as of May 11th. It will probably take a while to get in, so call now. I have not. Somebody on here said something about my husband being a hairstylist. My husband's not a hairstylist. My ex was a hairstylist. Alex is not a hairstylist. If Alex was a hairstylist, my hair would not look like this right now. But his hair is so sexy right now. It's so long. I love it. I told him tonight. I said, I want you to keep it. He goes, I'm thinking about putting some highlights in it. I go, what? I just like it really, really dark. He goes, well, that's why it's my hair and not yours. And I'll have to figure out what I want to do with it. I'm looking up something really quick. So this is weird. So I just read this comment, and Annette said, I've just listened to your vlog from May 9th and 10th about your mother and how you lost her around Mother's Day. The period in time your mother was in ICU at the hospital is equal to this period in time we have been in quarantine because of the serious unknown disease. Last time you experienced something like this, you lost your mother. Maybe that is the reason why you're so emotional and vulnerable. That's actually could really be true. I think that's a good observation. Melissa said, Annette, that makes so much sense. But you know what's so funny is I was sitting here looking at this, and I honestly think that the day probably would have come and gone and I wouldn't have even noticed it this week. I don't know why, unless somebody had brought attention to it. But my mother died on May 14th of 2008, which I just looked. That year was a Wednesday, so tomorrow would have been the day. So it's been 12 years tomorrow that my mom's passed and gone. Seems weird. I have to say more often than not these days. I was listening to that Nico song. Do you guys know Nico? That Someday song. I love that song. My mom loved Nico. But something I was just about to say reminded me of a line from the song. But anyway, more often than not, it really does feel like it's been a really long time. Like, it really feels like, especially when I'm talking to Caroline on the phone, because I feel like Caroline just lost her parents in the last couple years, and here I am, like, you know, I mean, let's just be for real. It's been 12 years. You know what I mean? I don't know that I'm ever going to stop talking about my mom. Like, she was my mother. She was the only mom I'm ever going to have. I have 100 stories from her. She greatly, profoundly affected my life. I'll probably never stop talking about her. And I don't think that me not talking, I think me continuing to talk about my mom doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not over her. You know what I mean? Like, but do I feel this, and I hate that term anyway, like, get over somebody. Like, I talk about that on my Peterisms channel a lot, when people say you need to move on, you need to get on, you know, I don't, we move through, you know, all of that. It's like, I'm friends with somebody whose son passed away from sun-sniffing death syndrome. I'm trying to think of what year it was. So it was the week before my ex and I got together. I mean, it's like 2001. You know, it was like 19 years ago. And he just posted something the other day on Facebook about a bird nest they put together up when he was younger. And I think you're always going to tell stories, and you're always going to carry that with you. And I think that's fine, you know? Do I feel the grief as much as I felt it 12 years ago? No. But I have to honestly say, one of the things that helped me the most, if anything, that this vlog has served its purpose for me. Like, let's just say if I was going to quit the vlog tomorrow, which I'm not, right? But if I could say on a personal level, what has this vlog done for me that has been really, really helpful? I would say, number one, it helped me grieve my mother, because I talked a lot about my mother the first year on here. If you watch my vlog the first year, like when they started getting longer and longer and longer, I talked about my mother all the time. I cried about my mom all the time on here. I mean, unbelievably so. And the other thing is, I have to say, this isn't necessarily the case today, but like in the past, it's really kept me from being very lonely. There's been long periods in the last 3.5 years where I was very lonely, you know? I just didn't have a lot of people. Tiny goes to bed and Alex is asleep, and, just don't have a lot of people to talk to, and I've always been a night owl, and I just was lonely in life anyway, I was somebody that wasn't real social, and I just felt lonely. And having this place to come and talk and share my life has really helped me. It's really helped me a lot, and I don't feel lonely today, but I think for me, the way to get to the other side of loneliness and grief is by walking through it, so don't ever let somebody tell you that you are taking too long to grieve, or that why are you doing this, or just you feel things the way that you need to feel them. I had to, and I'm very thankful for that. Ashley said, Vegas is amazing, but I can't imagine what that would look like with all the restrictions in place. Won't be the same for sure. I have no plan on going to Vegas anytime soon. And that makes me really, really sad. I was reading, I don't know. I've talked to Alex's cousin too, Maya. She lives there and works there, in a restaurant. But she hasn't been working all this time, obviously. But I was reading this thing today, and it's only so many people at poker tables, and then they're gonna put plexiglass up, I don't know, I guess in between the slot machines maybe, or there's gonna be cleaning stations outside the bathrooms. It just is a lot, and that pool cabanas, they're gonna use every other pool cabana. Okay, this is what I love about the pools in the summer in Vegas. Have you ever been to a pool in the summer in Vegas? It's packed, okay? Absolutely packed. There's not a chair. You can't get a chair at a pool in Vegas, anywhere, okay? Cosmopolitan, has 3 pools. They have the Marquee Day pool, and then they have the other 2 pools. The Marquee Day pool is a club, but they have the other 2 pools, the Boulevard pool and the whatever, something street pool. You can't get a seat at that pool. Alex and I walk around for a good half an hour just looking for 2 seats together. You cannot find 2 seats together. So they're going to put 6 feet between these. This is not going to work. People are going to it's going to be so ugly, because then you're going to have people that are super entitled and are going to be like, I paid to stay here, don't tell me where I can sit in a chair. It's going to happen. It's going to get really, really ugly. So I have no desire to go to Vegas anytime soon. I'll wait until things are, safer. Hunter, you are commenting in all kinds of places. He said, just stay at home as much as possible, Peter. Stay safe and positive. I'm going to try to. Where was the comment that I wanted to read? So Christina said, if your city-state reopening rules are so hard to understand, why don't the TV stations, radio, newspaper give a simplified summary? Okay, to answer that, they do. The newspapers do. It's still confusing to me because, and this is, it would be easy, but this is why. Because Marion County, where I live in Indianapolis, there's like 3 counties in the state of Indiana. I have no idea how many counties are in the state of Indiana, but 3. I mean, let's just say there's, you know, now I'm gonna have to look. How many counties in Indiana? There's 92 counties, okay? So, out of 92 counties in Indiana, 3, which it's Marion County, Cass County, which is the one where it had that DuPont or whatever, the food plant that like had so many cases outbreak. I don't know what the company is, so don't quote me on that. But then it was that county, and then it's one other county. So there's 3 counties in the state of Indiana that extended the stay-at-home order. One of them was Marion County. Marion County is literally, like, the entire county is literally Indianapolis. So Indianapolis is Marion County. Like, the whole county is the city of Indianapolis, if that makes sense. Like, the Indianapolis doesn't extend to anywhere else. North of Indianapolis is Carmel, Zionsville, Noblesville, Fishers, Westfield, okay? And that's where, like, all of our family lives, like my family, Alex's family, Caroline, my dad, my stepmom, Caroline, like I said, Alex's mom, Alex's brother, you know, like all of Alex's cousins, Alex's aunt, Tanya, Alex, where Alex works, everything is up there, okay? They opened on the 4th. Like, all this, like, the essential travel ban went down, and they opened on the 4th, but then they, like, the phase 2 started on the 11th for them, which was Monday, okay? Well, we're behind because of our stay-at-home order, and so we're delayed. But I don't know if we're delayed a week or if we're delayed 2 weeks. It doesn't explain. It doesn't say, like, okay, so, you know, every other county in Indiana opens on May 11th. Marion County opens on May whatever. Like, it doesn't say that. It just says is on a delayed timeline. So I don't know what that delayed timeline is. I'm so frustrated. I read these articles and I even get more and more confused. So I totally agree with you. I wish I could simplify it for us, you know? Okay, and then the next part of your question was, regarding travel, give it a few more weeks and reevaluate an anniversary trip in August. Or use the money you save, your stimulus money, and go on a dream trip next spring. Or you can plan Las Vegas or Miami last minute when things settle down. We will have a new normal. Okay. As of now, we're not real worried about the anniversary trip or the birthday trip. I mean, that was really going to be like some big trip, but we can save the money to do that. We're also wanting to save the money to do like a rehaul in the house. So that's fine. Those are some things that we can save for. If we do travel, when we do travel, it will be a last minute thing. It will be literally like on a Wednesday, let's go somewhere this Thursday through Tuesday or something like that. That will be how it is. Number 1, for the prices, and number 2, just because I'm not going to plan that far in advance and get excited about something that I have to cancel again. So unless we can actually go, I'm not going to schedule it again. And I can tell you, Las Vegas will be out for the year of 2020. I have no plans to go to Las Vegas in 2020. If things got really, really safe, where our numbers literally were like 0 and nobody was contracting it anymore, and Las Vegas was like, yeah, we're 100% safe, then I would consider going there in August or September. I really would. But I would have to see like 0 numbers. You know, I'm somebody that watches like the numbers. Tanya tells me the numbers every day. Caroline tells me the numbers. You know, like until that number thing goes down to 0, like I'm not comfortable. You know, like a lot of people. So it would definitely be a last minute thing. And if we did travel, I would feel more comfortable, like I said, getting like an Airbnb in Florida or doing something like that. But we're not anywhere near even thinking about that. So we don't even need to worry about that. Okay. Melissa said, I had to pause the vlog to let you know that we have a squirrel who is pure evil, straight from the pit of hell. We have 4 dogs, and they eat dry food out of a communal bowl in the backyard. They share their food with Russell, a crow, the Petersons, a family of opossums. I love that. And Steve the squirrel. Steve was always a little sarcastic, but then he started sitting on our wall taunting our dogs. The dogs would be napping in the sun and Steve would start making squirrel sounds to wake them. Then they'd bark and he would laugh. Watch your squirrels. I swear they laugh. Later, oh my God, Charlie bit my finger. I forgot. Oh, I love that story about Steve the squirrel. That cracks me up so much. Why can't I find this comment that somebody asked me about getting engaged? I don't know who it was, but somebody asked me to tell the story about getting engaged. Oh, here it is. Amber, can you tell us about your engagement? Please, who proposed? How long after your first day? Okay, so it's at 29 minutes and 30 seconds, so I'm going to stop at 31 seconds, 32. I'm going to stop it and come back so I can just tell the story straight through. Okay, so Alex and I started dating at the end of August of 2008, and I believe, isn't this horrible? Oh wait, okay, so I just want to make sure I get this correct. So we got engaged the Friday before his birthday, which, let's see, which would have been, just want to make sure I have all the facts straight. One second. Because we were going out for his birthday. Okay, so Alex's birthday that year was on a Sunday. So it was that Friday night and we were getting ready to go out and it was his birthday, 2009. So we started dating in August and this was the following June. So we started dating at the end of August and this was at the following end of June of 2009. And Alex really, like, we would go shopping and just like look at stores and stuff like that. And we had gone into Tiffany's and he had seen these rings that he really liked. And they were like these iron, like these, not iron, they were like these sterling silver, like mesh rings. I don't really know how to explain them unless you've ever seen our rings. But anyway, they're like this thick and he really, really liked them. And it was actually like a woman's line and they had like necklaces and everything, and it was like, you know, like Tiffany's puts like a line, you know, out like every year. But anyway, so I went in there and I got 2 rings made of our sizes. We got like size like months before that, so I knew our ring size. The reason people ask me why I don't wear my rings, okay, because like Alex bought us our wedding bands, which I totally wasn't expecting. I thought we would just use our engagement rings. He bought our wedding bands and surprised me with them in Las Vegas the week that we got married. He had them engraved, and both of my rings are so small that they don't fit my finger because I've gained so much weight. The last weight that they fit was 218 pounds and they haven't fit yet, okay? And people ask me all the time, why don't you get them sized so that they will fit? Well, I mean, and I know it makes a lot of sense. Well, with the kind of ring, not the ones that he bought for us, but the ones that I bought for us, the other ones, like the wedding bands, if we have them sized larger, if I have it sized larger and then I want to move it down, I can do that. And because Alex wears his rings every single day. The birds are starting to chirp, I can hear them. If I do that, then that ring I can get sized down, like, you know, if I lose weight. But I keep on saying that I'm going to lose weight. I've been saying it forever, you know, like, I know it's stupid. I keep on saying it forever and I don't. somebody's chirping. And so I haven't wanted to get sized. Now with the engagement rings, if I got it resized, they can't put it back. So if I got a bigger size, like, and if I like lost weight again, it would just be really loose on my finger. That ring is actually, it's like, so like it's a little bit more flexible than the other ring. It's not flexible, but it just, I'll have to show you. I'll show you the rings sometimes. But anyway, so those are our rings. And I proposed to Alex. He had wanted me to say something to his mom. So I can't remember how anyway, I had a conversation with his mom at some point. And then we were getting ready to go out. And I had written him this thing, and it said, like, it was this story, and it was this story about these two kids, and one came from Chicago, and one came from Venezuela, and how they, like, met, and one spoke Spanish, and the other one spoke English. It was like a story, right? And at the very end of it, and they fell in love, and all this kind of stuff, and at the very end of it, like, as they grew older, they fell in love, and at the very end of it, I said, like, in Spanish, like, will you marry me? And I had Alex, like, read the story out loud. And so then he's, like, reading it out loud, and he started to cry, and I, like, got the ring out, and I got down on my knee and proposed to him. And that was how I proposed to Alex. And then he, of course, like, because Alex is a social media person, he, like, immediately started, like, posting it everywhere and texting every person, and he was so excited. That was, like, a really fun night that we went out. You know, I have to say, like, don't rush your engagement. Like, I mean, and getting engaged. Don't rush, like, okay, so then this is what happened. So that was the end of June 2009. They're up. We were planning on getting married the following August. So Alex wanted to keep our wedding date, like, the same day as our first date. Because he was like, if we change it, then you're going to want to have 10 different anniversaries. You're going to want to have the day that we met, the day we talked. He was like, I know you, which he's totally right. So he's like, we're just going to keep it all the same. So we had planned to get married the following August, but it just was expensive, and it was really, really expensive to do. And we, like, didn't want to, like, do some cheapo wedding. We wanted to do the wedding the way that we wanted to do it. And so we were going to get married in 2010, but we put it off till 2011, which was great because by then we had more money than we needed to go. And so we ended up getting married 2 years later. But, 2 years later. But we had such a fantastic engagement, and we had so much fun, you know, just like being this engaged couple and planning the wedding and planning all this kind of stuff, and going and registering for stuff. We had so much fun doing, you know, and like we had a joint bachelor party that our friends threw for us, and it just was, we had a fantastic, you know, 2 years of preparing for it. It was really, really fun, and it was just a really cool thing, you know. I loved being engaged. I love being married, but I'm somebody that always wanted to, like, you know, be committed and be married and all that kind of stuff. Like, I love all of that. So they're hungry. They're like, Mom, go get me something to eat. I don't see the birds flying around yet. Where do you think that they know just to, like, fly and find, like, like to find, like, worms and bugs and things like that? I don't even know where they would go. But they usually do fly. It's weird because, like, in the camera, it looks like it's more, like, right there. It looks like it's brighter out than it is. It's still really dark out. Like, it's not like, if you walked out right now, you would think, like, it's dark out. It's not like the sun's not coming up yet. Like, it kind of is, like, fake on camera a little bit. But usually, they come along here. They're not here yet. She's probably hitting the snooze on that button. She's probably like, let me sleep a little bit more. And yes, I am totally the kind of person that like imagines this whole bird nest with like a bed and a comforter. It was 6 feet high, 9 feet wide, soft as a downy chick. Did you guys know the John Denver song, Grandma's Featherbed? So I totally imagine Mr. and Mrs. Birdie in bed with all their babies in the big feather bed, the 6-posted feather bed, the 4-posted feather bed in this little nest, and then they have like an alarm clock and a TV, and they're watching Love Boat or Designing Women in there. No, 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 no. I watched Designing Women the other night when I went to bed. Alex was getting up for work, and I started watching it. And I watched the episode where Mary Jo's daughter wants to be Miss Teen Atlanta, or Miss Atlanta Teen, and she gets in it, and then she gives this real powerful speech because she doesn't want to be Miss Teen Atlanta because she thinks somebody else deserves it because she doesn't even know what it means to be Miss Teen Atlanta. It's real sweet. And then Suzanne Sugarbaker at the end of it gives her one of her what do you call it? Her crowns. It's a real sweet show. I love that show. But the episode that I watched was on YouTube. I hate when people do weird stuff like this. And it was on YouTube. And like every 4 to 5 minutes or 3 to 4 minutes of the show, like this real jazzy music started playing over it, so you couldn't even hear what they were saying. And that is the episode. That episode, it's like the first or second episode, I think, where Julia Sugarbaker says to Marjorie in the bathroom, "That's the night the lights went out in Georgia, Marjorie." And then Marjorie said, "I'm sorry, I didn't know." And she goes, "Well, now you do." I love that. All right, I'm getting off here now. I'm waiting for Mrs. Birdie, but I don't know, she's not coming. I already caught up with my Words with Friends, so I don't know how many games. I probably like open this and I have 15 games or something like that that I got to catch up with, even though I caught up with all my games. Let's see, I'll tell you how many games. Before I lay down, I caught up. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold on a second. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 8. Honest to God, I do not understand how, like, I can catch up on all of my games. I went and took a nap, you know, like, at what, like 10:30 or 11. How can that possibly be? There is no, like, that. I cannot understand how that is possible. 18 people made their moves. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna get off here now, you guys. Catch up on Words with Friends. Thank you guys if you made it this far in the vlog and you watched it till the very end. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having an amazing, what is today? Well, before we get into that, thank you for watching. Please leave a blue heart for the Wolf Pack over here. That's all of us, the OG Wolf Pack and the new Wolf Pack, all the new people out there that are watching. Thank you guys for watching. If you're new to the vlog and you feel comfortable, just say, "Hey, I'm new," and thank you for, you know, welcoming in me community, or to say F off. I don't know. Just say, "Hey, I'm new and I'm watching over here." But anyway, just let us know that you're new if you want. And I like kind of wonder sometimes, because I'll get somebody that'll say, like, "I've watched your vlog for 3 years, but I've never vlogged." Are there any of you out there that have literally watched like every vlog since day one and you've never commented once? I'm not talking about my haters. I'm talking about people that kind of like me, maybe just like even a little bit. Is there anybody out there that has never once commented, that has sat there and thought, "Oh, I would say this or I'd say that"? You don't even have to say anything. Just be like, "Yeah, I watch." I just be like, "Yeah, I've watched every episode and I've never commented." I'd be interested to know. But anyway, to all of us out there that are just trying to put some love and positivity out in the world, and hell, we're just trying to get by. That's what the Wolf Pack is, you know? We hang out together. And put a blue heart in the comment section below, and then put all kinds of colorful emojis for all the essential workers out there. And yeah, and I hope you are having an amazing Wednesday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, don't have other plans. Make the most of your day. Do something fun today. Do something for yourself, whatever that is, however you would define fun. I'm gonna try to finish this damn book and start a new one. That's how I'm gonna define fun today. And do something that will make yourself proud when you look back on it tomorrow, or the next day, or next week, or next month, or next year, or 10 years from now, or a year from now, or 60 years, or 69 years from now. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. just know that I love you. And make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single night before you go to bed and you say, I love you, you are valuable, you are important, you matter. Do all your daily affirmations and say, tomorrow is going to be an amazing day. I'm going to be happy, joyous, and free all day tomorrow. And if something happens and comes along my way to disturb my day, I can start my day over whenever I want and go to bed with an easy head and mind. And when you get up in the morning, say to yourself, I love you, you are valuable, you are important, you matter, and today is going to be an amazing day. It's going to be a kick butt kind of day. And I can't believe I just said that. I cuss more in real life. I know I shouldn't, but I really do. I watch it on my videos, so I would probably say kick ass. But anyway, I cuss a little bit more than even that, probably. I'm sure some of you aren't surprised. But anyway, you know, say to yourself, today is going to be an amazing day. I'm going to have a great day today with full of opportunity and laughter, and it's just going to be a good day today, and I'm going to be happy, joyous, and free all day today. And if something comes in my way and disturbs that or gets in the way of my happiness, then I can start my day over whenever I want. And, yeah. And make sure that you reach out to somebody. Like, the most important thing I always say is make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you and say, hey, I just want to let you know I was thinking of you. Hope you're doing okay. Hope you're making it through all this kind of stuff. And, yeah, and also practice random acts of kindness. But what? Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anyone. Just do it because it's the right thing to do. Because we're putting good out there. We're putting, you know, positivity out there. And thank you guys all for your comments. Thank you so much for your comments that you left. I love to read the comments. It's become one of my favorite things that I've done over here since I've been in the driveway. And even if at times it seems like I don't agree with your comment, or, you know, I'm responding to a comment or whatever, you know, the glowing comments, of course, are nice. Who doesn't love glowing comments? You know, I mean, who doesn't love just to be flattered left and right? But I want you to know that the comments that are critical or make me think or whatever, like, I really, really appreciate those, because those are the ones that get my wheels turning and thinking about things. And so I really, really appreciate those. There were a few of those tonight, and I really like that because it makes me think about things, you know. Like Tabitha's comment, that really made me think about the travel thing. It's like, okay, well, maybe was I taking it lighter than I thought, you know? And I appreciate that, because that's how we get through things. And I think that's what people that care about each other say to one another, you know? They don't say it in nasty ways, they say it in nice ways, and then they say, hey, listen, like, you know, this is, like, you know? And so I appreciate those comments as well, and I want people to know that. And they're welcome, and I appreciate those over here. So anyway, with that being said, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And yes, this was a longer vlog tonight than usual. The birds are up. Say goodnight to Mr. and Mrs. Birdie. Well, say good morning to Mr. and Mrs. Birdie. And I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.